Hi, as this is Boria Majumdar, and we are live on Sports Today. I've just got my colleague Vidhima Pathak also joining in. Pragyan Oja has joined already. Vidhima, good on you. I know you were doing your basketball game, and Pragyan, I know 1 hour to go for a very important game between KKR and Kings 11 Punjab. But before that, we on Sports Today want to make this point very strongly. महेंद्र सिंह धोनी डॉटर जीवा उनको सोशल मीडिया में गाली गलौज किया गया है, सो मच सो कि रेप थ्रेट भी दिया गया है. हमें ये बहुत सीरियसली कंडेम करना चाहिए कि कोई भी आदमी इस देश में, हम आप रिधिमा प्रज्ञान, कोई भी आदमी, कोई भी, none of us should be subjected to this level of abuse, and that is something we will say on Sports Today. First thing. Number two, here we are talking about an MS Dhoni. When his daughter was born, his statement was, I am on national duty, everything can wait. This man has given you 3 world trophies. 3 world trophies. So, for God's sake, learn to respect. If you are a cricket fan, if you are a sports fan, each one of us condemn such trolls. Social media cannot become a faceless, abusive monster. Cannot. It has to stop. This troll rubbish has to stop, because this goes against the value of this country that we stand for. Pragyanoja, first thoughts.
It's very true, Boryada. It's a very important subject we all need to address. It's not only about sports or about an individual, it's about the nation. When someone reads these kind of things, it's very disturbing. I have a young boy, you have a daughter, we have got a few female colleagues working with us. See, if you talk something with a humor, it's always accepted. But when you're crossing that line and you're talking all this about anyone, and it's very disturbing, and you don't want this to happen. Digital platform and all the social media, it is just for entertainment or to enhance your ability to see the world in a different way. But you have to be very careful what message you're passing on to your next generation. See, we are privileged that in pandemic we could use the technology and interact with each other sitting at our home. That is how we should be thinking about using the technology. But sitting in a house or in a dark room and writing nonsense about someone who's done so much for the country, matter of fact, about anybody, it is nonsense. You cannot take it. And as an Indian, as a citizen of this country, I condemn it very strongly, and I will not take this nonsense.
Ridhima?
So I'm so sorry because of the technical glitch from my end, and I would just like to say on this particular subject that I wanted to tell everybody who's watching sports today that across platforms having hosted so many sports, there is something that I've come to realize that what makes sports today such an integral part of the world is because of the kind of things that sports teaches us. It teaches us resilience, it teaches us accountability. More importantly, it teaches us respect. And because it teaches us so many virtues, it makes us a better human being. And let me tell you, the world needs more of these. More of good people in the world today is what is required. And I would like to tell this to every viewer who's watching this. If you've been following sports very closely but have not developed such virtues, I'm not sure if you're truly a sports fan. So the kind of, I mean, we youngsters, we're calling it Youngistan. The other day, Pragyan called it the YPL, the Young Premier League. If we youngsters cannot show respect to people who have taught us things, from whom we get inspiration, there are times you won't believe it, sir. During the World Cup, when I saw Virat Kohli, I've noticed one thing. If everybody is watching Virat Kohli very closely, you'll notice one thing. The man never drinks water standing up. He sits down and has his water. Do you know the reason why? Because it affects your fitness, it affects your knees. And that man is so careful that even when he's on the pitch, he can see his legacy forward. He's not even drinking water on the field standing up. This is where we draw our inspiration from. कल को वो एक अच्छा मैच ना खेले उनको गाली देने लगे. Really, this is the kind of
Yeah,
youngsters we are.
beautiful. Love it what you said. Love it what you said. But गाली दे दोगे, criticize करोगे, करो. उनका बेटी बीवी उनको आप घसीट रहे हो, उनको खींच रहे हो, बोल रहे हो बेटी को रेप कर दोगे। यार आई हैव अ 6 year old डॉटर, कोई मुझे आके बोलेगा बेटी को रेप कर दोगे, पागल हो गए हो क्या? आई मीन कम ऑन मैन, डोंट स्टूप टू दैट लेवल. This is hurting the very value of this country that we stand for. I love my India. This is hurting my idea of India. My idea of India is not this. My idea of India is what Ridhima Pathak just said. My idea of India is what Pragyan Oja stands for. My idea of India is what each of you stand for, who hail an MS Dhoni or a Sachin Tendulkar. Or, okay, let us tell you some stories. Sachin Tendulkar was trolled at the start of the pandemic with people asking, how much money have you donated, Hari? And I was like, what? Firstly, Sachin Tendulkar, behind the scenes, you guys have no clue. People who are listening, what he does to help people, no clue. How many thousands of children he manages, he helps villages of, with his own money. Okay, you have no idea. Number two, let me give you a Sachin Tendulkar example. 2003, and each of us will tell you stories today. Ridhima Pathak, because she's covered sport. Pragyan Ojha has played sport. I've done sport. Now, listen to these stories. Sachin Tendulkar, 2003 World Cup. 2 days before the India-Pakistan game, 3 days. Sachin Tendulkar at that World Cup used to have a problem in his, he had 3 injuries. If you go and see footage, you will see he's practicing with a baseball mitt, a baseball gloves. He couldn't even run. Okay. So he would have his ankle taped up every day so that he doesn't have to see the face of the physio. He would do it himself. So he would not have to call the physio. He would tape up his ankle himself. One day, while pulling open the bandage, he pulled it open so hard 3 days before the Pakistan game that so मान लीजिए ये मेरा big toe है, मेरा पैर का big toe है. There was a gaping hole, blood hole underneath my big toe. So he's telling me in my hand I'm feeling something brownish red soft. It's gross, right? Brownish red soft. So I look at it. It is my own skin which has come out and it's blood. Okay, this is Sachin Tendulkar. So he had two options in front of him. Option number one, to call the physio and say, I can't play against Pakistan, boss. This is what has happened. Look at this. Number two, this is what he's doing. To cut that flesh with a pair of scissors, put it back on that bandage and put it back onto the big toe and tape it up. Can you imagine? And he does that and he scores 98 of 78 balls against Pakistan, winning India that game. Now, you will question his nationalism. You will question how much money he's donated. For God's sake, man, come, get a life. Get a life. Pragyan, your story, give us one story. Mahendra Singh Dhoni, you played with that guy. People need to realize.
Yeah, they should be realizing by now. It's very sad that a Pragyan Oja is coming and talking about Mahendra Singh Dhoni or Sachin Tendulkar. These people are like absolute legends. They've given us so much reason to be happy about. The cricket itself. When we go to the 90s and 80s, we see the pillars. Like first pillar would be, I can say, Sunil Gavaskar sir. Then we have seen Kapil Dev sir. Then Sachin Paji, and then MS Dhoni, then Saurav Ganguly, and then MS Dhoni. These are the pillars, and we are here to defend them. And in our own country, this itself, really makes me sad. And talking about MS Dhoni, anybody who's a father or who's going to be a father, or they have a young kid, they would understand. First thing you would do is like, I want to be with my wife. I want to be with my family. I want to see my daughter or my son. But this guy gives a statement that everything else can wait. The way Boryada just said, everything else can wait. I am on a national duty. What else do you want? Do you want a Pragyan Oja come and tell you that no, MS Dhoni is so and so? He is going and serving in army. He is going and serving in army. He is in territorial army. He's there in Jammu and Kashmir, and he is jumping for a flight to get his.
Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Let me give you this story. Ridhima, MS and I had lunch early this year, and I asked him this army story because Pragyan referred to it. All of you need to know this. I mean, I've hardly said it. I don't think I've ever said it. So I asked MS, so what was it like to jump off from the flight, in the army? And he looks at me, he smiles, and he tells me, oh, you know what, Dada, there is no MS Dhoni there. Everybody in that flight, it's by numbers. So 28 and you jump, 29 and you jump. And if you don't jump, you're actually delaying the fellow behind you, so they'll push you. Okay, so that's how it is inside that aircraft. So I said, so he said, Dada, there's no MS Dhoni. No MS Dhoni. You are told jump, you jump. I said, boss, you have earned billions. Why do you need this? यार तुम 10 जनरेशन खाओगे कुछ भी नहीं होगा तुम्हारा. Why do you need to do all this? And he said, आप wait करो. Then he takes his iPad and he starts flipping the iPad like this. He flips his iPad and he shows me one photo after another. One photo. I said, ये क्या है? And he's sleeping out in the open. Huh? It's the hills. He's out in the open, sleeping out in the open. I said, what is this? He said, nobody knows. I went to another camp last week. This was in Jan. Another camp last week. And trust me, I still can't forget those 2 inches. Only if I had dived. So I asked him, so is the army an escape route? An escape route from the World Cup? Why did you go? And he didn't answer that question. He didn't answer that question, but he kept flipping that iPad, showing me these photographs where he was sleeping out in the wild, went to the army to take his mind off. Now you suspect this guy? You want to question his daughter? You want to say his daughter will be raped? For goodness gracious me, this is not my India. Ridhima.
So, of course, MSD, everybody thinks of him as God, and he truly deserves that. To tell a story, and let me just ask a question because there are a lot of youngsters who are glued to sports, especially cricket. जो आज वो क्वेश्चन करते हैं विराट कोहली को और फॉर द रेस्ट ऑफ यंगस्टर्स दैट आर कमिंग इनटू द स्क्वाड आई जस्ट वांट टू आस्क एवरीबॉडी आप 6 साल तक रोटी और चावल क्विट करके दिखाओ.
Correct.
6 years just quit this and then we'll talk. And then you tell me whether the kind of effort and sacrifices at say even at the food level, if you can make that sacrifice for representing your own country on an international stage, if you can make that sacrifice for 6 years, we'll talk.
सही बात है. एक
So-
और सवाल, एक और स्टोरी आपको
So
बता
I
दें, फिर
think
मैच पे
the
आएंगे.
kind of sacrifices
रिद्धिमा
that they
पाठक ने,
make.
यस एब्सोल्युटली रिद्धिमा, आपने जो कहा वही इशू पे मैं एक स्टोरी आपको बता दूं. इंडिया हैज लॉस्ट टू इंग्लैंड इन द वर्ल्ड कप. We are in the same hotel. I'll tell the hotel also. Hyatt Regency, Birmingham. रात का 10 बजे आई एम गॉन. आई हैव डन माय टेलीविजन ब्रॉडकास्ट फॉर इंडिया टुडे एंड माय अदर वर्क एंड राइटिंग एंड ऑल दैट, एंड आई एम डेड at 10 p.m. at night. 10 p.m. at night, I am in the elevator going to my room to sleep. Okay.
Yeah.
So the day has started at 7 a.m. in the morning. We've done the game, we've done everything. 10 p.m. at night. And I enter the elevator. Who enters with me? Virat Kohli. And what does he have with him? He has some 20 bottles of water, mineral water. 20 bottles, इतना बड़ा crate. अपना सर पे ऐसे लिया है और लेके वो elevator में घुस गया. So I looked at him and I said, Skipper, what is this? So he said, Dada, how are you? I said, I'm okay, but what is this? He said, I'm going to the gym. I looked at him. I said, you played a game. You played a game for 50 overs. You were out in the field. You scored so many runs. You fielded for 50 overs. What do you mean you're going to the gym? He said, you want me to play another game now? Full game I can play. I said, boss, don't utter one more word. Enough. Then he looks at me, smiles at me, he said, आप सो जाइए, आपको देख के लग रहा है आप थक चुके हो. I said, 100% थक चुका हूँ, मैं human हूँ. तुम नहीं हो, तुम भूल जाओ. So this is the kind of fitness this man has, Virat Kohli. It is unreal. Unreal.
Yeah.
Ridhima, final words from you. Final
And
words
Dada,
from
the
Pragyan
commitment.
before
Dada, the
exactly.
commitment.
हाँ, पहले तुम जाओ. पहले Pragyan, then Ridhima. Yeah.
Dada, I didn't get you. What were you saying?
I said final words on this issue before we move on to the game. Pragyan first.
This has to stop. See, we accept that you're talking about our game. As a passionate fan, you want your favorite players to do well, perform, win you games. I totally appreciate it. You talk about my game, you give your personal comments on my game, but dragging somebody's family, getting personal with someone, that is not. This is a young India. Everything depends on us, how we take it forward. See, everybody is talking about India as going to be a superpower only because we have a lot of youngsters, and this is not the way we should set our standards. I would
Okay,
request
Ridhima.
everybody, please understand what has happened, the depth of it.
Okay, Ridhima Pathak, final words.
I would just like to say that what is happening is disgraceful. And with sports and disgraceful, these two words don't go together because in sports, even losing is graceful. So, talking about the legends that we have, thank you so much for getting back the grace that truly this is the kind of note on which we are supposed to be speaking about legends and not the way it has been going on. We will not put any more light on it. We've got a lovely lady who's just joined us. Uh,
Sritama,
uh,
welcome. Yeah, welcome, welcome. She's done a piece on this, believes very firmly, about what we are talking about. Sritama, your point of view on the Mahendra Singh Dhoni troll that has happened?
Firstly, how Pragyan sir said that it's shameful. It's a shame that we have to defend our such big cricketers, our legends of the game. We have to defend them. That is really a shame. When I was writing the piece, it was boiling my blood. I don't know why we have to do that. I mean, I'm smiling right now just to mask what I'm feeling, because when I read about it, I couldn't speak about it because I was trembling that this is happening. And I don't know the age, if they're youngsters or which age group is doing this, but whoever does this against a human being, like, forget legends, even a human being, you cannot say such words about someone like that. So I don't know if someone is speaking about MS Dhoni, I don't know what they'll speak about others' families. I mean, and MS Dhoni does not need any kind of defense from any of us. So
Got it.
it's a shame that they have to go through all that.
Got it. On that note, that was a common voice from India. That's what India feels. Ridhima, Pragyan, and me, we are journalists. We are doing our job. But that's what India feels. That's the India we live for. Okay. And the way Ridhima said it, Ridhima, I'm proud of you the way you summed it up. Pragyan Oja, I'm proud of you the way you spoke. This is what the voice that Sports Today will always put forward. This is the tenor that Sports Today stands for. The idealism that we believe in. We don't care who wins, who loses. There's something bigger. Now coming to the match on hand. KKR versus Kings 11. People are saying Kings 11 is all gone. KKR will have it easy. I think Kings 11 is going to give KKR a very bad shock because my friend KL Rahul cannot keep failing. Pragyan Oja, first thoughts.
Very true. As I said, he's got that magic in him. It's just that he has to just throw those extra baggages aside and just play the way we have seen him play. When someone can just come back from a 6 months gap and bat the way he's batted, suddenly why do we see? It's just extra baggage that he's carrying. He just has to forget that he's the captain. He's got extra responsibility. If he bats the way he bats, I think he will do a fantastic job for his team.
Ridhima, I know
so
you and
I
I
have a
are
question.
on
Do
the same.
finally see
Yeah,
Chris
yeah, yeah,
Gale?
go on. That's what I
I
was
have a
about to
question.
ask
Do we
you.
finally see Chris Gale?
I was about to ask you exactly that. Do we see Chris Gale? And I think we will. I think we will. Finally, it's time for Glenn Maxwell to go out, and we will see Chris Gale. Ridhima, your thoughts? And I don't like anyone losing really. And KL Rahul and Mayank Agarwal are very dear to me. So, your thoughts? Do you see a final bite coming from Kings 11?
Yes, I do. I really do. I think I remember hearing Tanil Kumble saying that match that Chris Gale was supposed to play that match. He didn't play because
Yes.
he was
Food
feeling
poisoning.
unwell.
Yeah.
Hopefully today he'll be there, and today Kings 11 will get that extra push that they've been looking forward to. And I feel it is going to be a Punjab match. Having said that, it's the IPL. Just like let me tell you, in the NBA, we were expecting that Lakers would win today and the Miami Heat have won. You never know till the very end. It's a sport. So in the end of the day, what happens in the sport is right what happens in the field. So we don't know, but I'm hoping that it will be Punjab today.
Exactly. And she told me yesterday, if Lakers win, I've got to do this, I've got to do this, I'll miss the show. So that's what happened because the people were taking Lakers for sure that they'll win. That's what sport is. Rafael Nadal going for his 13th, 12th title. Maybe Novak Djokovic has other ideas. Who knows for the French Open, Roland Garros. Watch that final. Pragyan Oja, Kings 11 Punjab. Last bite remaining.
Definitely, you see the captain, he's a fighter. You see the coach, he's a fighter. Anil Kumble, we know him. With a broken jaw, he just trapped it and came and he bowled and got Brian Lara out. That's the kind of people are there. They are the core. And how can you just keep them aside by saying that they won't fight back? They will. I am very sure they will fight back, and that team deserves a spot. That's what I feel. They have played some good cricket. It's just that at times it hasn't clicked, but they will not go down without fighting.
Somebody is
But sir, I
writing to
have a
me, am I
question.
not a Bengali? Somebody is writing to me, am I not a Bengali? That I'm saying Kings 11. Boss, I've had my
That's why
mustard
I'm
doi for
asking. I was
lunch.
about to ask you this. What about the Kolkata Knight Riders? They've been on a rise
Of course they are. And they're a good side. They are a good
and they have
side. But as I
momentum in
said,
them. Yeah.
Of course they do, and they have a quality side. If you go man by man, it's Kolkata Knight Riders, which is a better team. But I think there are days in the T20 format. If this was Test cricket, it would be Kolkata Knight Riders with this bowling attack against the Kings 11. Maybe Mohammad Shami will disagree with me, but because it's a T20 format, individuals can win you games. We have seen that in the past, and KL Rahul and Mayank Agarwal are just too good with Nicholas Puran in that form to fail for 3 4 days, and Mayank Agarwal will not get run out, not get run out for second third day, because that is a freak dismissal. So any Kolkata fan, and I'm from the city, but I don't support anyone, and this is the truth. The honest truth to God is, for me, I don't support any team. I support individuals in the IPL. I support KL Rahul. I support Mayank. I support anyone from Kolkata for that matter. Somebody like a Sunil Narayan. But for me, the match result doesn't matter. India wins, so it's okay. Pragyan, yes, your point.
Dada, I have a question for you. When you see Kolkata Knight Riders, they have played brilliant cricket, especially with CSK, the way they have changed their bowling and all. But I want to understand, as a cricketer, uh, how do you see Dinesh Karthik? He's a very good captain. He's led his team really well. But where does he stand? Because I was thinking, had it been Dinesh who would have opened with Shubman Gill, they would have got a good lineup. Rahul has done really well. I'm not taking any credit away from Rahul Tripathi, but I'm not understanding how do you define Dinesh Karthik's role? He's not fitting in that top five.
I agree with you, and sorry to say, I mean, I don't want to be disrespectful. I'm not of any cricketer. Even that decision to not bowl Sunil Narayan and Andre Russell in the first 11 overs would have come to bite Kolkata had Chennai and Kedar Jadhav not thrown it away. Russell eventually bowled 2 overs. So if somebody comes and tells you Irfan and Neraji has both said that it was a strategy, come on here. Patrick Cummins bowling out in the 11th over, Russell not bowling out his full quota. You want me to believe that that was a strategy that clicked? Come on, come on. Dinesh Karthik, lots of questions can be asked, but nothing succeeds like success. Ridhima, what do you think? Okay, so, and here I'm asking you as a fan. Okay, what do you think will be going through KL Rahul's mind? His captain, is batsman KL Rahul getting eclipsed by captain KL Rahul?
Wow. Uh, no, because if you see KL Rahul has performed, if you see Punjab's batting lineup has performed, and yes, maybe there will be a certain questions on, say, the captaincy of KL Rahul. But sir, here is a question that I'd asked you yesterday as well, where DC and the captaincy of Shreyas Iyer. I'd asked you about this, and you said with the lineup that Shreyas Iyer has, with that kind of lineup, you just can't fail. Now my question to you is this: what is the kind of team that Punjab is? And tell me if there is a bit of a doubt in his captaincy, or there were certain glitches in the lineup itself.
I actually feel batsman KL Rahul is getting eclipsed by captain KL Rahul. That's why I asked the question. I'll ask Pragyan Oja as well. Because Punjab needs batsman KL Rahul more than captain KL Rahul. Because if batsman KL Rahul performs, Punjab will win. 1 out of 3 games, KL has the ability to win you as a batsman. And the rest of the 2 games, he should bank on the other players to win it for him, at least one. That should be my strategy for Punjab Kings 11. I think KL, by trying to play sheet, by trying to play anchor, not giving his wicket 12, 13, 14, I'll take it deep, I'll take it deep. KL Rahul has to score 80 of 40 balls, not 80 of 72 balls. If he tries to score 80 of 72 balls, Punjab is losing the batsman KL Rahul. And I don't think that should happen. Pragyan Oja, final thoughts on this game.
Absolutely. KL Rahul has, we have seen that when he came into the tournament, he played like a KL Rahul, the batsman, not like a captain KL Rahul. Now, slowly, because they're losing and that pressure is there, we know how much ever we take that pressure away, but it's always there on you as a captain. So I think that he needs to sit and, talk to himself, or maybe discuss with Anil Bhai, like what he should be doing, because we want KL Rahul the batsman. If Punjab has to fight back, it has to be KL Rahul the batsman. And once he performs with the bat, or when they're fielding, he'll be the captain, and he doesn't have the pressure of bowling or doing anything. but going onto the field and doing his captaincy. So he's free from that. So that's what he has to do.
So, Ridhima, my suggestion to you today, I am being sentimental again. I am being sentimental again as far as my fantasy team is concerned. It is KL Rahul or Mayank Agarwal who will be my captain, irrespective of the toss. I will go with KL Rahul for sentiment because I can't bear the thought that KL Rahul, how good he is, he will fail for 3, 4 games.
So come on. So since today Boria has gone sentimental and emotional, Pragyan, you give me a lineup which is totally made out of practical decisions. Give me a wildcard entry into this match that I should have in my dream 11.
Wild card entry is one. That is Chris Gale. How can you miss him
Two.
out?
That's
That is
actually a good one. That's a lovely
yeah,
one.
yeah.
That is a
Uh,
superb one. And
Fair
you know
deal.
what? You know
so,
what? You know what? If I was KL Rahul, I would just say, Pat Cummins, मैं खेलता हूँ, आप दूसरी तरफ रहो और शिवम मावी और बाकी लोगों को खेलो, क्योंकि वो एक्स्ट्रा पेस बाकी किसी में नहीं है. क्रिस गेल बाकी लोगों को ना अभी भी मारने के लिए उनमें वो काबिलियत तो है. सो
Yeah.
वाइल्ड कार्ड ये बहुत अच्छा सजेशन है, बहुत अच्छा से. निधि, 4 ही मिनट बचे हैं, सेकंड मैच जल्दी से कर लेते हैं. धोनी वर्सेस कोहली,
बिल्कुल.
बताइए.
Dhoni versus Kohli. I have a question. Whose middle order is going to be more exposed today?
Good one, good one. Actually, both are top heavy, but I
Yeah.
think it is a battle of South Africans. I want Pragyan to answer this. I think that match will be decided between Faf du Plessis and AB de Villiers. Those two are the two pivots of the two teams. With due respect to everybody else, if de Villiers fires and gets a 70, he'll score it of 35 balls. If Faf bats through till the 15th over, he'll get to 80, 90 of 45, 50 balls. That is what will decide this game, according to me. And the
Yeah.
all-rounders, Sam Curran, Ravindra Jadeja, Dwayne Bravo from one side, and on the other side, a spinner in Yuzvendra Chahal, and somebody like a Chris Morris, if he plays, will solve half of Virat Kohli's problems. Again,
Actually,
uh,
before we go to Pragyan, let me give you a stat here, a trivia. The only team with the worst middle order numbers other than CSK and below CSK is RCB. So now you give me what are your team members of your Dream 11 that you will go for, having known this?
oh, you're talking about fantasy. So from cricket, we have just gone to fantasy. It'll
दोनों
take me
बता दे,
some
दोनों
time.
दोनों
Yeah,
Uh,
बता दो.
See, it's a very good point. You have Chris Morris. If he's fit, he just straight away walks into your team because he gives you that batting option and he bowls well and he bowls well in the death. That is your concern, bowling well in the death. See, you have got a very good batting lineup up front. But, in the middle order, if Chris Morris comes in, then you're sorted. And for CSK, they don't have any replacements, as we have seen the whole team. So it's only those players they have to go out and perform. And it's a very good point. It depends on Faf. More than AB Boriada, I would say CSK will depend. CSK will need Faf to perform because he is the lone warrior there who's been consistently doing well in the CSK batting lineup. So saying that, I feel this is how the game will be poised. If these guys perform in CSK like MSD, Ambati Raidu, and Faf, they will have a good say because bowling unit, I somehow see after Karan coming in, maybe he's bowling little better and he's been getting some wickets, but still, they're little okay, I feel. But if you talk about RCB, they're more or less sorted. If they get Chris Morrison, then they will be more power packed.
Boria, do we see Kedar Jadhav again today or no?
No, for God's sake, no. I mean, if Kedar Jadhav plays, then come on, yeah, Rituraj Gaikwad, give him, empower that youngster. Youngsters IPL, young, whatever you said, Youngistan, young alien, whatever you said, Indian Premier League, young Premier League, get Rituraj Gaikwad in. He's played for India A, he scored hundreds for India A. He's a supremely talented individual. I want to see that guy. Here, my fantasy team is not emotional. I'll give you my fantasy team, all
Go for
seven.
it.
Devdutt Padikkal, Aaron Finch, Virat Kohli, AB de Villiers, Ambati Raidu, Faf du Plessis, and Shane Watson. Top seven, Sam Curran, Shardul Thakur, the two bowlers from Chennai, and the two bowlers from Bangalore. If Chris Morris plays, then Chris Morris. If Chris Morris plays, then I don't have points for Yuzvendra Chahal. So Yuzvendra Chahal comes in. That's a real trade-off call I've got to take. And for the last position, it's a trade-off between Mohammad Siraj and Isuru Udana. I will probably go with Mohammad Siraj because Mohammad Siraj will bowl in the death overs again, and with that short ball might disturb. So that's my 11. The captain will be Faf du Plessis, and the vice captain will be either AB de Villiers or Virat Kohli. That's my fantasy 11 for this particular game.
What about you, Pragyan? I'm just writing down notes.
Yeah,
Taking
I
quick.
was also taking those. My hands were down. I was just taking those notes. I was just silently listening and writing it down.
This is like one of the students in the back benches. There's a
Yeah,
professor. You just
true,
like take
true.
down cheat codes before getting into the
Yeah,
exam. It's like
yeah.
one of those. But tell me, Pragyan.
Yeah, that's a very good team. Boria, the way he put the team, it's very good. Uh, Maybe in place of Sam Curran, I would like to go with another bowler, say Washington Sundar, because he's economical and he's bowling in power play. So maybe we'll see him pick up those wickets. That's one thing I would like to see.
Okay.
Hmm.
So
All
post-match,
right.
Ridhima, all of us are there together tonight?
Yeah,
Absolutely, we'll be there for
absolutely.
sure.
Beautiful,
So,
beautiful. On that note, Ridhima Patak, thank you very much. Despite the Lakers' commitment, the basketball commitment, for joining me. Pragyan Oja, absolute rock star. This is a really good team. We love you guys on Sports Today. And for everyone who tuned in, tonight we will once again take a call. We will take a call as to how our fantasy teams panned out. And as we said, we will unite against every person who decides to troll another individual, an Indian, whoever that Indian is. And if it's MS Dhoni, we know what our answer is. Dhoni deserves better. So do you. Thank you very much for watching Sports Today.